What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. We are 1 day away from Season 1 of Dragonflight. It's 1 day. This is Monday. For me, it's happening tomorrow on Tuesday reset. So it's like, in 24 hours, a little bit more than 24 hours, we're going to be there. So I want to do this video and just talk about a couple of last-minute things you can do, guys. If you're looking for gear in particular, we're talking about gear in this quick video. I want to talk about, like, if there's a couple slots that you don't have filled, what can you possibly do to try and fill those last-second gear slots? And there's a whole bunch of things you can do. Okay, so I'm going to start listing them off here, and I'll go through them for you. So, again, we're talking about, like, most of my items here are 370-something or higher, but there's a couple stragglers. My hands and my legs, for example, are 356. So how do we fix that? Number one, legitimately, there could be world quests that will help you out here, okay? So, for example, there's one up here. Unfortunately, it's a trinket. My trinkets are fine, but you can see how it's item level 363. This is a regular world quest. It's item level 363. That's kind of crazy, right? Because I have a 359 and a 356 on here, but you can cheese the item level of the world quest by having most of your items really, really high. And if you still have a couple straggler items that you're trying to get upgraded, this can be the way to do it. I'm getting unlucky here, unfortunately. This is not anything that I need, but you might get lucky, so check your world quests. And again, this is only really going to work if most of your items are like above 370, up to 380 kind of thing. Then you have a couple stragglers. Then the item levels of the world quests on average will be higher, and they can help you out. Okay, that's number one. Check out world quests. Number two, of course, you need to go do the Mythic World Tour, okay? Right now, you can do all 8 of the dungeons on Mythic 0 difficulty, and they will drop pretty good item level stuff. They're going to drop 372 gear, which is fantastic. That's really, really good gear right now. So most of my stuff's 372 on average. Some stuff's a little bit lower, and then you have some higher stuff here, 389. Now, I'll tell you where a couple of these items came from, but this is the best chance you're going to have of getting all your gear catch-up. Honestly, if you get lucky in Mythic Plus, 372 is a great place to be. This is the best place to do it. You have 8 dungeons you can go do. So go run all 8 of those dungeons, guys, at least once this week before tomorrow, and you can get them all done and potentially get a chance at picking up those last pieces of gear that you don't have, okay? Number 3, there are epic loot bags from the weekly events, and I'm talking about 3 main weekly events. Number 1 is Siege on Dragonbane Keep down here. So you do this siege. Remember, it's like a short 5 to 10 minute little siege. You get a bag at the end, a purple bag from the boss that you kill. There's the Iskara Soup Community Feast. When that's running, you go down and you do the soup feast, and you'll get a bag as well for participating in it, and that will have an item in it as well. These all have items in them, by the way. They are guaranteed to have loot in them, so make sure you do it. The third one is the hunt, the grand hunts that are going all over. It depends which zone it's in. Go find it, and you can do these hunts over and over and over again, but you'll only get the big purple epic bag once per week. Make sure that you go do that, and it'll give you a piece of gear. Might not be the gear you're looking for, but it might just be that one piece that you're kind of looking for. Okay, so that's number 3. Go do the siege, go do the hunt, and go do the soup from the Tuskar down there. Okay? Number 4, you can go farm rares. And this is a bit more of a tedious one, but if you're really, like, hard stuck and you're really looking for a piece of gear, there are dangerous rares in the Obsidian Citadel and in Brackenhide Hollow. These are the 2 main areas that you can farm. There's other areas as well, but these are the big ones, Brackenhide Hollow and Obsidian Citadel. They'll just have, like, elites roaming around. You can just form up into a group. In the pre-made group finder, just go questing or like custom, find a group, and you can see Cobalt rep farms going on. There's a whole bunch of just farming. Farm, war mode off. So you can go do this, and Obsidian key grinds, Obsidian key farm. So people are farming those areas. 2 reasons to farm it. Number 1, the rares over here will just give you gear. But number 2, if you farm the Obsidian Citadel in particular, you can get keys, like those guys are talking about. You can hand those keys in to Sibelian or Wrathion to increase your rep with them, and they have their vendors, their quartermasters will have gear that you can buy as well. So 2 kind of birds with 1 stone there. Okay, so go farm that. Again, also in Brackenhead Hollow, if you just fly around Brackenhead Hollow and wait for the rares to pop up on your mini-map, they will, and you can kill each of them, and they each drop gear. Again, it might not be exactly what you're looking for, but it could be that piece that you're missing. Number 5 here, let's farm the Cobalt Assembly down here in the Azure Span. This is the, like, outdoor Torghast zone that has the special powers. You can farm the rep in this area, the Cobalt Assembly, and that will get you this ring. We talked about this in an earlier video. 389 ring with a damaging proc on it as well. This is an insanely good ring. Probably the best ring you can get before you get into Mythic Plus, okay? So this is one of the best ones you can go do. Go farm your Cobalt rep until it gets to high. My Cobalt Assembly rep is high, 4 out of 5. Just have to get it to high, and then you're good to go. It's a little bit harder to farm versus when it first came out, but well, I actually farmed it the hard way. They had nerfed it by the time I farmed it, and it only took me like maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then I was done. And if you can find a big group to do it with, again, you saw in the dungeon finder there, there were groups doing that as well. There's Cobalt rep grind, war mode off. So that's exactly what you're looking for. Again, farm that for the 389 ring, best ring in the game so far. It's right down here in the Cobalt Assembly. That's number 5. Number 6. You can farm your factions, like the Maruk Centaur or whoever you want. You can farm them to a certain level. I think it's actually 11 for my guys. I should go check really quickly. Let me just go check that really quick. Okay, so we're almost here. We're going to land. Here's the Quartermaster. Right here's my Quartermaster. Show me your wares. So as soon as I get to... Here's the cloth one here. Look at this. Renown level 11. I'm so close. I'm actually Renown level 10 with them right now. So if I was to get to Renown rank 11 with the Maruk Centaur, I could get this piece of cloth gear. 376 gear. It's just like Mythic 0, basically. Now, I'm assuming every faction has... I haven't checked every Quartermaster, but go figure out which Quartermasters sell which gear, and if you've farmed hard enough with at least one of these factions, getting to rank 11 is not that difficult. It's really not. So if you get there, you can get another piece of gear this way, which is awesome. Maybe it's the slot you're looking for. In my case, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Getting 10 extra item levels on my feet would be really nice, and getting Haste Mastery would also be really nice. So I might try and farm this for the rest of today. Just do like grand hunts and get all my rep up from them, and try and get this piece of gear before I head into the dungeons, okay? That's that. Now, other thing you can do is the weekly aiding the Accord. That's getting 4,000 rep and participating in one of the 3 big events I talked about. The Siege on Dragonbane Keep, the Tuskar Soup, and the Hunts. You have to participate in one of those events, and you have to get 4,000 rep from like various activities around the Dragon Isles. It's not that hard to do at all. So remember, aiding the Accord will get you a piece of gear guaranteed. Okay, that's the weekly quest there. You can also craft your own gear or put in a work order for gear. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about right here once we get back to Valdrakken. So just let's get back to there. Okay, so we're back in the capital. Let me just go over to this crafting spot really quick. It is down in the Artisans Market. I just flew into a building. It's all good, guys. Don't even worry. So down here, we've got the Artisans Market. These are the work order people, okay? You can go here, and I can say armor, cloth, and I'm going to go with hands. My 359 hands, I want to get rid of those. Let's get something better. There are people who have posted the 382 stuff here, and I actually have my Spark of Ingenuity left. This is the big resource that you need, the Spark of Ingenuity. If you've already used yours on a crafting thing, you might be out of luck here. But I can realistically get a 382 upgrade here. I'm going to place this order right now. I have to get... These resources were a little bit harder to get. The Spool of Wilder Thread was really, really cheap. It might have cost me like 60 gold. The Vibrant Wilder Cloth did cost me 4,000 gold. Just so you know, that's not actually very much gold at all. If you've been farming at all in this game, 4,000 gold is pretty cheap. So to get 10 of the Vibrant Wilder Cloth, I spent 4,000 gold. The Spark of Ingenuity I had from my questing stuff. The Primal Chaos I just had from questing stuff. These 2 I had to buy. Okay? You can add other stuff too if you have optional regions. I don't. I'm just going to do the recommended commission. I'm hoping to get it within 24 hours, but I'll just put it up for 48 hours. I don't care. If I get it one day after Mythic Plus comes out, I'm going to be fine with that. This is still a really, really good piece of gear. So I'm going to place this order, And this is a public order. Remember to place it publicly. Your order has been placed. To view or cancel. Your crafted item will be sent by mail once the order has been fulfilled. So this is a public order. Make sure you do public, unless your guild is doing stuff for you. But this is where you go in Valdrakken. You can place a crafting order. I could do the same thing all over again. Cloth. I could try and get my pants this time. Let's go legs really quick. 382. There's a couple different ones. There's this one here, which I'm going to talk about this in a second. This has got the new embellishment thing on. I'll talk about that in a second. But I could just do these slacks. Now, I'm out of resources because I spent my Spark of Ingenuity. So I think the Spark of Ingenuities are very limited. You have to get the Engine of Innovation going up, right, and craft them there. So you could probably only do one of these pieces of gear every, I don't even know how often, but the point is, find a piece that you're lacking, find a spot in your gear that is really, really bad, and then send a crafting order off to somebody, and hopefully they will fulfill it for you, okay? That is number 8. Number 9, really quick, is what I did in a video very recently, and that's going to be the elemental chests. They are guaranteed to drop loot as well. There is one down here in the Inari Springs. This is where it spawns, like right there. Right by the waterfall, that's the water elemental chest that spawns there. The other elemental chest that spawns is in Thaldraszus in the temporal conflicts. You want to fly to this right here, the temporal conflicts in Thaldraszus right here. Take the portal to the alternate future or whatever it is, and then you have to fly basically over like right here once you're there. It's going to go from here to here. It's something like that, okay? And there's a cave. I showed it in one of the last video that I did. There's a cave, and you can get the other elemental chest there. There's a... Again, you have to wait till these pop up on your map, and then you have to rush over like a mad banshee if you want to get them done, okay? So those 2 elemental chests are also guaranteed to drop loot. I got this out of the last elemental chest that I did. 376 piece of gear. 311 intellect with a haste proc. This thing is nuts. It's so good, and it's 376. Again, it scales with your item level, so just always keep that in mind. Okay? That's number 9. Number 10, there's gear enchants, of course, and there's a whole bunch of like crazy enchants going on right now. I just picked up enchanting on my shaman just to look at a couple of them, and I'll put some on screen right now just so you can see some of the regular enchants you can get. There's enchants for every different part of your gear. There's one for your cloak, there's one for your chest, there's some that give intellect and leech, and you can get all these cool enchants. If you want them, you could maybe get one that just gives you main stat for now. Maybe just one, because you're probably going to be replacing your gear. So I wouldn't spend too much money on enchants, but just know that there are a lot of enchants out there that can really help you out quite a bit. Then there's these new embellishments, and we're going to go look at these over here right now. Let's look at the Wowhead article. This just came out yesterday, so let's check it out. Oop, that's the wrong one. So I'll move my camera over here. So this was the new embellishment post that they put down. Let me just read it really quickly. Embellishments are part of a new crafting system in Dragonflight to help you make your crafted gear a bit more interesting and powerful. Embellishments come in 2 different forms, and we're not going to talk about that, blah, blah, blah. Here's an example of one. This is a neck piece that's got a socket, okay? And it says, your spells and abilities have a chance to empower one of your socketed elemental gems, granting you 347 of the associated stat for 12 seconds. That's really, really cool. So if you put a haste gem in this neck, then your spells have a chance to proc this haste buff, giving you 350 haste. Very, very cool. This is awesome. Notice it says embellished 2. You can only ever have 2 embellished items on your character at a time. Now, there's a whole bunch of embellishments. I will link the Wowhead article down below. It just came out. But there's some that buff like your potions, increases the duration of Dragon Owl's potions. When you're struck, you can deal physical damage. When you heal, you sometimes fire an additional healing dart. Allows decayed gear to have their effects increased by 100%. I don't know what that means. While above 90% health, you get mastery. There's a Frostfire damage proc one. Enemies who damage you, there's the physical. This is the haste one. Damaging a new enemy grants you haste, stacking up to 5 times. Variant on the epic version, it's like 119 haste times 5, right? So there's a bunch of really interesting embellishments. It's a new type of way to interact with your crafted gear or some kind of crafted gear that you might have bought on the auction house or from the crafting orders like I just showed you. So very, very cool. Check out this article for all the different things that you can get embellishments on. Here's my cloth stuff. There's just so many of these. Some of them have to do with PvP. It's really crazy, guys, how much they've really put into this. So There's enchants now, and there's these embellishments. There's, of course, potions and feasts and files. There's so many things in this game now that are awesome. But if you're looking just to get an extra little buff heading into Mythic Plus next week, I wouldn't spend too much money. Again, I wouldn't spend too much money on this, but maybe just do one of them. Maybe just find an embellished item that's got one proc on it. That might be really beneficial. Maybe it's a crazy DPS proc, and it's really, really good. This Frostfire one, for example. Or, sorry. This one, Frostfire Belt. Spells and abilities have a chance to inflict lingering frostbite, dealing damage over 10 seconds. Enemies that die explode, leaving cold sleep. Maybe that's really, really good for Mythic Plus. I don't know, but it's just another option for you. So there you go, guys. There you have it. Those are all the different ways in which you can help to gear up your character in the next day. Again, there's World Quest, Mythic, get your Mythic dungeons done, Mythic Zeros. There's epic loot bags from the Siege of Dragonbane Keep, the Tuskar Soup event, and the Grand Hunt. Okay, you can farm rares in Dragonbane Keep or in Brackenhide Hollow. You can do the Cobalt Assembly rep to get the 385 ring that I have on right now. Make sure you go get this thing. Is like 389. Sorry. It scales with your item level, right? So this thing's insane. You need to go get this. Make sure you do the weekly aiding the Accord. You can craft your own gear or put it in a work order like I just did right here, okay? You can check out those elemental bound chests that I talked about. One here and then one in the Temporal Conflux. And you can do gear enchants or gear embellishments. Either one of those will be something that you can do for your character, and it can provide you a little bit bonus heading into Mythic Plus. Again, I wouldn't recommend doing them too much because you're going to replace your gear this coming week. I just want to add one more thing here. Look at my work order. It's already here. Holy crap. I just went and I just like turned the video off, and then I was just like, oh my god, it's already here. It's the highest quality it can be. Oh my god. Okay. Get away from these stupid guys. They have some stupid buff going. Okay, well, there we go. That solved that problem. And I got 10 extra item levels on it because of the quality. Holy crap. That wasn't that expensive, guys. This item cost me maybe 5,000 gold. Maybe that's a lot for some of you, but I've been farming like herbs and skinning and stuff. Just get out there and do some farming, and you'll make tons of gold, I promise. So there you go, guys. That's it right there. There's the piece of gear that I got. My item level is now 373. So really, really cool stuff. I just wanted to add that in at the very end. That's it, guys. That's all the things you can do to prepare to get your gear score as high as you possibly want it to get before Season 1 drops tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. Let me know if I missed something important that you guys would add to the list. And also, are you excited for Season 1? I think it's going to be a blast. Are you excited for the dungeons? They've actually got them in here already. I'm excited to do all of these. I think it's going to be so much fun. I want to push really hard Mythic Plus this season, and I'm going to show you guys that on stream and on the YouTube videos as well. So stay tuned for lots more content heading your way. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much, guys. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one.